Hello and welcome to the July edition of What's Up Stratford via Zoom. Starting this show is Blythe Wilson. Blythe, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Peter. Good to see you.
So I'm in a bit of a swinging chair today, so if I move, just tell me. Hey, Blythe, you grew up in British Columbia, or where did you grow up?
Yeah, Vancouver, BC, up near UBC, born and raised in Vancouver. My parents are still there, but they also have a place over right around the corner from where we live on Hibernia. So they have a little Ontario cottage that they come in and stay here throughout, sometimes in the
Double
winter.
Stratford. Oh, and it's
Yeah,
in the winter. Oof. Double
yeah,
Stratford connection, I guess. Blythe,
yeah.
why did you want to get into acting?
Oh, I think I always was a bit of a clown at home when I was young, and I got right into ballet and jazz when I was very, very young, and studied and trained and did lots of classical ballet. I really wanted to be a ballet dancer, but just didn't have it to get into the ballet world. So I just sort of discovered theater and musical theater and discovered that I had this voice and started training in theater and graduated from high school and then ended up at the Vancouver Playhouse Theater School in Vancouver. It was a 2-year program. I didn't completely complete the program. I snuck away and went to an audition and landed my first job at the Charlottetown Festival. And I was in Anne of Green Gables when I was like 18 years old. And I've just been at it since then. It's been a beautiful career. I've been very lucky.
Well, you have been very fortunate as well as highly respected and regarded. Blythe, you were in Broadway. Tell us about that experience.
Yes, I was on Broadway with a beautiful show, the Disney's Mary Poppins, and I landed the tour first. So I was all over the States with this beautiful tour playing Mrs. Banks. So I was playing the mother of the two, Jane and Michael Banks, that Mary comes to visit. And so I did a year of the tour and expressed interest if there was ever an availability or a possibility to join the Broadway company. They had been running for about 5 years. I would love to join. And the opportunity came up where Mrs. Banks was leaving the show. And so I came to Toronto, opened the show at the Princess of Wales Theatre. And then that following weekend, I was whisked away to New York City and opened the show on Broadway with them. The show was already existing. It had been running for 4 years. So I got to run it for the last leg of the Broadway extended run, which was really thrilling. It was great being in New York. Yeah. And we
That's
moved.
awesome.
Then Mark and I actually, my husband, Mark Harapiak, we moved and we immigrated there. We got our green cards and we went there. We were there for about 3.5 years. It was a great experience being there. It was
Well, we're
great.
glad to have you back in Stratford, though.
Yes.
Blythe, tell us about the Drayton Festival this season, and also, are you on faculty there?
I'm not on faculty. I've been teaching a little bit. They have a youth academy that Drayton opened a couple of years ago. So I've been slipping in and doing some classes for David Connolly, who's running the theater company, who's also a director that I've worked with many times. But no, I'm hired as an actor, and in their season, I've done many seasons with Drayton. Alex Moustakis, who's our artistic director of Drayton Entertainment, he's got over, I think it's 19 productions this season up and running, that will be running throughout the season from May until all the way to December 24th and further into January of next year. And this year he's got 8 mega musicals that are planned for the full season. I finish the prom in June, and I start Kinky Boots and run Kinky Boots up in Grand Bend and then in Cambridge. And then I have a break, and then I go right into Evita. So it's just a great season, and I run Evita from October to the end of November, which is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Blythe kinky boots too. I don't even know how high those boots will be, but it'd be scary heights, but that's fun.
Well, actually, Peter, Kinky Boots was the show we were running. We just had 4 previews under our belt before the pandemic hit the world, and we had to close Kinky Boots. We were heading into our 4th preview, and Alex brought the company together and just said, we've got to close the show. He had been to 2 other theaters and had closed 2 other shows that afternoon. So it's really great for everyone. There's half the company returning and half are brand new. So it feels really positive, and it feels like we get to take something back from what happened with the pandemic and theater as artists. And so I think it'll be really cathartic for a lot of us to return and be doing Kinky Boots.
Well, it's exciting to see the theaters back open, and Drayton's got a great season ahead, including yourself. So we'll look forward to seeing you. Thanks for joining me, Blythe.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Peter.
Coming up next, we're going to talk to Mark.